claim that states sharing websites enables the music industry to take advantage of digital culture. His supported claims were 1. Illegal music piracy benefits the music industry. 2. There is no evidence that music piracy is the cause of decreasing profits. And 3. Peer-to-peer websites encourage people to create music. My position on the subject is that music piracy is detrimental to the music industry and not beneficial. His first supporting claim was illegal music piracy benefits the music industry. Yes, it yes, it benefits the music industry, but how does it affect the artists themselves? The artists themselves can feel taken advantage of. Their aesthetic value could be brought down. They can feel betrayed by their fans or unvalued in general. In an article of effects of music piracy in 2010, it states that by stealing music from solo artists, the artists are likely to feel betrayed by their supposed fans. And to second this, the singer-songwriter Jessie J points out that you can't make music for free and you can't live for free. If people illegally download your album, it's very likely that you won't make another. And coming from an artist that started on YouTube, like on her own, we can understand that mental and emotional stress can be brought up from music piracy. In his second claim, he states that there is no evidence that music piracy is the cause of profit decrease. Although there is no profit decrease statistically, music piracy can also be accountable for money that is not received by the music industry or the musician themselves. For instance, in December of 2010, 2 German computer hackers were arrested for stealing songs from Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake, Kesha, and Kelly Clarkson. What they did with the music that they downloaded from their personal computers, they were able to stream them and take a revenue of over $1,300. And with that money, they kept for themselves, and if music piracy wasn't going on, that money would have gone straight to the artists and not to the thieves. And another supporting claim for this, we all pretty much know that YouTube includes a lot of music for us on the internet. And using sites like YouTube Repeat or YouTube Repeat MP3, you can easily use the music over and over again with YouTube Repeat. And with YouTube MP3, you can download the audio from videos very easily and use it for your own use. And sharing CDs and MP3s with your friends is also another way for helping music piracy. For his third claim, he states that peer-to-peer websites encourage people to create music. Though peer-to-peer websites encourage peer-to-peer websites encourage people to create music. And though that is true, it also encourages music piracy. And that happens because if a larger music artist decides that another artist who is lesser known, does not have as many connections as they do, they can take advantage of their music by either sampling them or covering them or just giving them no credit at all. For example, a few years ago in 2011, will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas was called out for taking many songs from other artists that were lesser known and using them in his groups. And in an article on Ultimate Guitar, they state that a big-time musician can easily pick off music or songs by a lesser-known artist, safe in knowing that they won't have enough money to fight for the right to credit and or loyalty. To remind you all again as to why music piracy is detrimental, remember that artists' self-value is at risk, that those sales are at a constant, money is still not being given back, and that peer-to-peer websites encourage music piracy.
I got confused at the beginning because I swear I asked for Maya and I got Mallaluz, right?
Oh, my bad.
Okay, that's okay. It's all right because you start, and she had, the topic written down on her thing, and I started, that's not what she's talking about. That's not her. What the hell? And I started looking, so I got a little bit delayed. I'm a little bit off track here, but I think I ultimately got caught up. You ID'd the primary and secondary claims. That's fine. I like the idea that you're focusing on the impact that it has on the artist. Let's not worry about the bigger industry. Let's talk about individual artists, which the advocate really kind of neglected to mention. And then you, in the course of your argument, you talk about people who are on the verge of breaking through that might suffer, and you use the one artist who started off as a YouTube artist, apparently got a record contract, but if their album gets downloaded so much, they're never going to get a chance to do that again. I mean, that's a pretty good illustration, because the advocate, I think one of their arguments was, oh, they're breaking new music all the time online. Yeah, they're breaking new music, but then those people crash and burn after they've broken because they don't get a chance to get any revenues from this. I think that's the argument that really effectively addresses this issue. You've only got the one example here, and I think we could use a little bit more. I do think the one example is helpful at demonstrating that your point is correct. The example about people being profiting off of that's okay. I don't, that's one set of thieves and pirates. If you're hackers and you steal the music, that's even more egregious, I think, than just sharing the music online. It's it's basic theft, and I don't know that the advocate was accepting of that kind of concept. I'm not sure that argument applies as well. But if it's encouraged by the technology that's going on, then I think there's a little bit of a link there. Some of the other sites that you mentioned, places where people can have access to music, and you talk about where they're getting this access. To me, it wasn't clear whether or not these are paid sites, industry sites, pirate sites, and so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to use them in evaluating the argument that you're talking about. And then when you talk about the issue of creating music, you sort of accept this premise. I thought it was an interesting way that you accept the premise. Yeah, people get creative because they use other people's music as inspiration. In fact, they use it so much that they steal from other people, pass it off as their own, and then they get a success out of it, and other people never get anything from it. And it's like the 1950s and 60s with all those music groups that got ripped off by the music companies in the past, only now they're being ripped off by artists rather than the music industry. I thought that was an interesting way to go at that. You have, again, one good example. I think you could use a little bit more information on those points. All right.